¿Qué onda, fenos robatos? Mi nombre es Nux.
Me llamo Hawkeye or Hawkeye.
And for those of you north, hello fanbots. My name's Nix.
Hawkeye or Hawkeye.
And this is our new segment for the imprint, comics, etc. called The Weekly Expo.
The Weekly Expo.
Weekly Expo. So basically with the Weekly Expo, it's going to be like a new segment. We're going to highlight some really cool happenings that you should pay attention to. Mm-hmm. And for that, we're going to focus on a really interesting subject that's near and dear to my heart and near and dear to his heart if he had a heart. Oh. Near and dear to his heart, his giant heart. That's why I love him. That's why I married him.
Backpedaling.
Anyways, something really near and dear to our heart, and that is Image Comics. So with the new year, a lot of new things happening with Image. Mm-hmm. One thing is at the Image Expo, they just dropped a huge upcoming list of titles for their 2015 lineup, and there are so many good titles on there.
It's out of control.
It's out of control.
So many good writers, so many well-known writers, so many creative, talented, like some of the best and brightest comic artists and writers out there right now.
Because I love Image. I love the staff that Image has, the creators they have, and the format they use. And they have so many big names, heavy hitters. Warren Ellis, Brian Woods.
Brian K. Vaughan.
Bryanson. So many Bryans, so many great, and non-traditional names that are going to become household names. Mm-hmm. Like
Emmy Lennox, who's working on two titles, actually.
And they both look great, so I'm really excited.
So good.
Yeah, so with that, they released like 17 about new titles, and there are a few that we want to single out because they look extra tasty. Oh, yeah. The first one's going to come from me, and that's because I am a huge Warren Ellis fan, and I cannot wait to say this. He's coming to Image. I'm so excited. I think the Image format will work really well for him, and he's going to be bringing us a new lineup to pair with his trees and whatnot called Injection. I'm really excited for this. It's going to feature the Moon Knight creative team that he worked with briefly. So that's going to include Ellis, Shalvey, and Blair. And I'm really excited for them to bring it. It's going to be like a 21st century, but a little in the future. It's going to focus on some crazy hijinks happening at an archaeological dig. Not a lot of details leaked, but it's just enough to know that this is going to be a phenomenal series. You have to trust them. They did great things with Moon Knight. Definitely pick this up when it comes out. It's going to be fantastic. Also, another great thing coming out is one of Guy's series he's looking forward to.
Paper Girls, which is going to be created by the creative team of Brian K. Vaughan, known for such phenomenal stories as Saga and Why the Last Man. He's a great writer. Everything he does is golden, great dialogue. He just gets people. And it's going to be drawn by the ever-talented Cliff Chiang, who just got finished with one of the best runs of Wonder Woman that Wonder Woman has ever seen. The premise behind it is that 4 12-year-old paper girls, their lives are changed forever after a mysterious event that happens after Halloween. Again, not much detail, but when you have these dynamic creative teams like the ones we just mentioned, you know, even with the mundane, they can do amazing, amazing things.
A lot of other great creative teams coming to the Image production. For example, the creative team behind Flash and Detective Comics is bringing a new thing. You may have heard of this back in the Kickstarter campaign. It's called Sons of the Devil, and it looks phenomenal. It was Kickstartered. A lot of people contributed to it, like this guy right here. And now the Image is picking up. I'm really excited because I know they're going to do the best to bring the best product forward, and I can't wait to read it. It's going to be a phenomenal series, a little different in terms of origin stories, but I'm sure just as good, if not better, in terms of quality.
Likewise, I'm really excited for another coming together of artists who have worked together previously for the title Monstrous, which is going to be written by Marjorie Liu and drawn by Sana Takeda. And both of these creators worked together previously on the run for X-23 from Marvel, and it was a series widely loved by a lot of people, a lot of fans of Marvel. And I love Marjorie Liu's writing. I love Sana Takeda's very sleek, sexy art. I think the combination of the two on a title that's supposed to be about a woman who can connect telepathically with alien invaders, that is a phenomenal sounding experience, and I literally cannot wait to see exactly how they're going to go about it. Is it going to be heavy on the sci-fi or on like what makes us human? I think they'll do great. But it isn't just the titles that we're looking forward to. It's the fact that Image is willing to look outside of the box this year. They're willing to try new things. For instance, they're releasing 2 new titles, 8 House and Island. Although they're slightly different in format, The general concept behind both of them is there are going to be a variety of creators submitting short stories. In 8 House, all of the stories will be connected by a shared universe. But in Island, there'll just be a multitude of sci-fi, fantasy stories all grouped together. And what's beautiful about this is we get to see creators collaborating, get to see them building something new, working off one another, combining like-minded ideas to build. And I think that is really where the comics should be heading, because when you get those kind of big names communicating with other big names and even new and upcoming artists, it benefits everyone.
Yeah, definitely. And like we said, Image's lineup in terms of creative teams is getting ridiculously stacked.
Ridiculous.
So to see a project that will utilize as many creative teams as possible, it's going to be phenomenal. Something we've probably never seen before in terms of caliber. I'm really excited to read it. Cannot wait. I am literally counting the days until these new titles come out. A lot of cool new things happening in terms of their lineup, and on their distribution and production side, a lot of cool things happening too. Image always willing to try new things. What that means is that they're bringing a new distribution service to us, the readers, called Image Direct.
For those of us who don't have a local comic shop, for those of us whose local comic shop doesn't always have the issues of titles we really enjoy to read.
Like Sex Criminals?
Just like Sex Criminals.
Oh
boy! And for people who just maybe prefer to have their comic shipped directly to them, this will be a subscription-based system wherein you'll be able to subscribe to any number of series and have the next 12 issues of that series delivered to your home after you pay for that series upfront.
I personally won't be using it because I love my local comic shop, Villainous Lair Gaming, Adams Avenue, Normal Heights, San Diego, California. But, for example, if you live really far or your local comic shop's just not really doing it for you, definitely check out this system. One cool thing to note is that they have a really cool tiered sign-up system. Mm-hmm. So when you hit a certain number of titles that you're subscribed to, you get a nice discount. It caps out somewhere around 30% or more.
If you do all of the titles, absolutely all of them, it is a 35% discount, which is pretty cool, but that is a lot of titles. Not that you shouldn't be reading them, because they're almost everything they release is phenomenal.
It pretty much is almost the same as just the cover price of the comic, maybe a little more for shipping, but we'll find out more as the system really kicks off. There's an FAQ at the Image Direct website. We'll put a link in the box below for you to check it out. But I think it's a really cool system, a really good way for Image to solidify their market base and bring comics to those people who would otherwise struggle to get them.
I would say solidifying and expanding, really. Yeah. I mean, it's not like there are many people who are thinking, oh, if only I had the convenience of having my comics delivered right into my grubby hands every day. But if you are one of those people who maybe thought that, this is for you. Image is finally catering to you. I go to you.
Definitely check it out. Click the link below. See if it's going to work for you. If not, continue to get your great Image titles at your local comic shop or however you get them. And make sure you add the new Image titles to your pull list or what have you, because they're going to be phenomenal.
And if you add them to your title or your pull list, we're going to be adding them to our collective pull list that we have together because we roll like that. And we can all talk about it, especially if you like this video. Comment down below, or subscribe to our channel.
Or maybe you have something really interesting to say that only takes 150 characters or less.
It happens.
It happens all the time. For example, I like pie. There you go. Less than 150 characters.
Less than 150.
Tweet us.
Tweet us.
Follow us on Twitter, Similar Robots. Follow us on Facebook. You can chat to us there. Just, we'd love to hear what issues you're most excited about. Check out the link that we're going to put down there for the new issue lineup for Image, and tell us what you're excited about. Anything that's on your mind. Maybe you like pie. We don't know, but we want to know. So definitely comment, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Facebook. Tell us what's up.
And ultimately, remember that the Weekly Expo is going to be here every week to let you know what we think you might have missed, what you should know, and various other things that we, just as good comic book loving folk, want to share with you.
So, with that in mind, we hope you enjoyed this new Weekly Expo. Definitely check out the rest of the lineup on the Comics, Etc. imprint. We've got some really cool segments like We've Got Issues, because we do, and Beyond the Sleeve,
where we look beyond
the sleeve.
Imagine that. Thank you so much for joining us, and as always, remember who you are and what you are.
Don't go causing any trouble out there in that world.
And you better remember, no one does it better than Image.
I would have to agree.